Welcome back to the From Harvard We Love podcast. I am your host, Harvey World Drizzy. And today we got us a unfortunate one. In my last video, we said we was going to go over the Honorable Kevin Samuels for the first time. Little did I know then that he wouldn't be here when we actually did review him for the first time. Kevin was the Manosphere GOAT, if you put it any other way. So I was on social media and I saw the hate, but I saw a status. May not have had nothing to do with Kevin Samuels, but the status said, "We label anybody the GOAT." There's some truth to that. I see that a lot. I see the GOAT thrown around. The GOAT is the greatest of all time. For the Manosphere, without a doubt, Kevin was the GOAT for the Manosphere. Now, there are guys that came before Kevin. There are guys that came after Kevin. There's guys that rose to prominence even during Kevin's run. Some maybe even because of Kevin. But there was none bigger than Kevin. Kevin was the only one that showed the wherewithal to transition into the mainstream. Now, he wasn't all the way mainstream, but he was as close as we get. He was as close as anyone in the Manosphere, much less the Black Manosphere, has got to being mainstream. And that was because of the charisma, the work ethic, everything that he put into the craft, to the business, and to what I feel his work was for, and that was building Black families. Now, he don't get that credit. Many times they label him like a hater of women or something of that sort. He hate his mama. I've seen he's homosexual. There's always some type of disingenuous argument surrounding the man and his work. But at the base of his work, he was trying to build Black families. And there's nothing I could say that's negative about that. Now, I was critical of Kevin Samuels. I wasn't I was a follower. I wouldn't even say a follower, but I believed in a lot of things he said. It was a lot of truth to the things coming out of the man's mouth on a nightly basis. And I don't agree with everything. Nobody agrees. I don't agree with everything anybody says, but I agree with most of it for the most part. So today, before we get into the video, I want to get into a little vocabulary lesson. You know, we like to go over our vocab, and it's a reason I picked this word very specifically, because that word whoops my ass. I'm sorry, but I picked this word for a reason, and the reason I picked this word is because I believe a lot of our women in particular use this word the wrong way. Without further ado, we're gonna get into it. Deserve. Very simple word, right? You would believe we all understood the definition, but for one, deserve is a verb. I hear it loosely thrown around. I deserve this. I deserve better. I deserve more. But let's get into the actual definition. The definition of deserve is to do something or have or show qualities worthy of reward or punishment. To do something. So it's something you had to have done in order to be deserving of anything, whether that is punishment or reward. Many times these women that say they've done nothing to deserve that. The man that you're looking for, you've done nothing to deserve him. And on the other side, flip the coin, or for the men, the woman that you feel you deserve, you've done nothing to deserve her. So, tying all of this in, we got a clip from the Honorable Kevin Samuels. The Honorable Kevin Samuels coming up here, and it showcases an interview with one of these deadly birds, these toxic, exotic birds of prey. And you're gonna see what his constant issue was. if you look at this clip, you could see a clip of this and may think, oh, he's being so mean to that lady. She doesn't deserve that. She does deserve it. Let me tell you how she deserves it. She deserves it because she had to do something. What did she do? She called in. She called in knowing this man and knowing his message, but she called in anyway. And she got she got the message. So she did do something to deserve it. But even without giving away too much of it, in the last video, I talked about what you always hear, some of the go-to slogans of the birds. One being, I'm working on myself. I deserve better. You expect me to settle. All things that piss me off. But what we're going to do, I'm going to get into this video. We're going to do it. We're going to do it how we do all the videos. I'm going to let the video play. I'm going to let it rock. And I'm going to stop it when I need to. So let me get that set up for you guys here. I mean, the bird we got picked out for today. I can show you better. I can tell you. So without further ado, let's just let this tropical bird get into the bullshit.
A regular type dude.
How tall are you?
Let's get into it.
I am 5'3".
Dress size?
So if you didn't hear, she said, so I'm supposed to settle for a regular type dude. And now Kevin's going to do what Kevin does. And he's going to try to see why she figures she deserves any man higher than this normal, regular 9-to-5 guy.
I am a medium.
Dress size? Number?
Cap.
A 10.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
157.
As a man that's been married 16 years, I'm going to tell you right now, I can eyeball a woman's weight most of the time. That ain't 157.
First face out of the shower, just your natural face. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rank your looks?
Natural face.
Okay, fresh face out of the shower, your natural face. You can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? 1 to 10.
A 6.
Okay. A 6 is right above average. A 5 is average, right? You're 5'3", 100, a dress size 10, so that's above average weight. 5'3", you should be roughly dress size 4. 4'6", 125 pounds. Even if I believe you're 157, 160, you're almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight. And you have listen. If you're average to cute looking, if you're below average health from a weight standpoint,
tied in,
and you have 2 children,
oof, at 37,
overall, does that make you below average, average, or above average? Factor all those things in together.
Now watch what happened. Before she even answers, watch what happened. Now, he asked her, what did she grade herself? She graded herself. He asked her what was her weight. She told lies. She was lying. She was clearly capping, but she gave, and even in her own estimation, which was 157, she's probably closer to 180. If we being for real, she's probably over 180, just slightly over. So, and that's just judging off of what I can see from the top up. You know what I mean? She got a whole lot going on. She gave herself a 6. I'm not giving her a second over 3 with makeup, but that's me. Maybe I'm harsh. Even if we give her the 6, he gave her the 6. He gave her cute. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. So even with her own basic math that she came up with, she would be below average. Let's see what she decides.
Average.
So why should you get anything over? Then why should you get above average? What do you mean settle for? You should get what you are.
I see millionaires with average women all the time.
Boom, there it is. What I tell you? I see millionaires with average women all the time. And what do I say all the time? What I say all the time is these women are not average. They may be average looking, but they are outliers for a reason. There's a reason why he didn't go after the supermodel. He went after her is because she's probably submissive, even if she's not in shape. Because a lot of them, if you just look at these rich people's wives, I don't want to be the wives aren't. If you look at the rich people's wives, like the celebrity wives, I'm not just gonna say rich people. We're gonna look at these celebrity wives. They not always lookers for the most part. I don't believe most of these guys aren't married to lookers like that. They married to strong women, supportive women. They the ones that they can't be without. There's a reason why he can't be without her. Is because she adds so much value to his life. So much value outside of just giving him some sex and attitude. Because of this, she's such an asset that he's willing to share his resources for life with her. That's what she did to earn it. She's not average. So when you hear this shit of, I see average women with high value men all the time. First of all, you don't even see high value men all the time. If you're being for real, you don't see these guys all the time. You don't see that. And you don't see them. And when you do see them with these average women, just understand that there is nothing average about the value that she placed in that man's life in order to secure that ring. It was hard work. It wasn't always easy, but she did it. She earned it. She deserved it.
They don't have big chest tattoos either, and 2 other kids. Man, I'm just saying. Okay, I want to. No. I mean, let's be honest. Why should an average woman say she's settling for an average man? Maybe
ain't nothing wrong with it. Wait.
No. You said so I should just settle. No, you said that. Listen. You said so I should just settle for an average guy, and I'm like, you're an average woman. Why should you not?
I would be settling. I mean,
why would you be settling and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money. So if he don't have no money,
you ain't fine enough for no money.
You ain't fine enough for no money. He ain't got no money, so his value is low. And see, this is the problem. When Kevin was talking about the high value men, a lot of times the only part we heard was the monetary amount. The only part we heard was the 6 figures part. But the 6 figures is actually a symptom of the high value. It comes with being high value, just because it's not the end all be all. It's not the number that the man makes that makes him high value. That number that he makes is going to be evidence of his value. Is what Kevin was trying to get across. So these guys are typically producers. The high value men that he's talking about not just the top 1%, not just because it's people in the top 1% that aren't high value. If you dig what I'm saying, there's a guy right now who make $100, $200, $350,000 a year, right? But he's a piece of absolute shit. He's disingenuous. He has no moral ethics. He's not rooted in anything concrete. He's just out here a fool can make money. Look at the rappers. Like, nothing against rappers. I listen to rap music. I love hip hop. It's my favorite thing. Future just dropped. I've been listening to it back to back trying to catch a vibe. So I fuck with these guys. But what I'm saying is that's not our best. That's not our best. That's not the top quality black man or no man. These guys can typically make their money fast from the streets. You look at a guy like Lil Baby, who was in the streets, and then boom, before you know it, he done blew up so fast he couldn't even separate from the streets quick enough to get the music off. They treating interviews with the Breakfast Club like it's an interview with law enforcement. He don't want to say nothing. He's afraid because he was in the streets and he transitioned so quickly. Because of that, he's still Pookie. He makes a lot of money, but he's still a Pookie and Ray Ray-esque character. He's still Pookie. And so what I'm saying is we You got women running around here curtailing themselves for these Pookies and these Ray Rays because these are the high value men that they see. Because they typically not around them. Let's be for real. Unless you have a career that's gonna have you around these guys, or you're doing something in your everyday that's gonna have you around these type of people, you're not around high value people like that. I'm gonna let her keep going because she got a whole lot of bullshit to get into, and the Godfather gonna put her in her place in the way he does. And like people don't agree, didn't agree with the man's delivery. One part of him that I did agree with was his delivery, because these people deserve to hear it the way he's giving it. Because you look at her, she calling here 37 years old, overweight, two kids from another man, and she gonna tell you how she's settling for an average guy that will come in and love her and her two kids like his own. An average guy, because no, she don't want an average guy. She want this high value. She want a world eater, a world beater to come in. He can have anybody, ma'am.
I'm not fine enough for money.
No.
You're
Average
6.
women,
You're 5. You're 5. You said you're 6, ma'am. You said you're 6. You don't get money.
You said you were 6 and you were
You
damn
get second shift at the plant.
Happy to have him. Should be happy to have him.
Did you go to college?
No, I didn't.
Okay, ma'am.
I have my own business. Though.
Congratulations. Don't care. Ma'am, you got 2 children.
Congratulations. Don't care. Come on, ladies. And I'm gonna tell you something else as a telltale sign. When a person, I don't care if it's a male or female, when they lead with, I have my own business, not what the business is. They lead with, I'm an entrepreneur in what fucking industry? See, if it's what they leave out that you need to be wary of. It's what they leave out. I guarantee I can look at her and tell that it's not a lucrative business.
And you said you are 6. I give you 5,
You
6.
said.
Your numbers together would be average. So why? So an average man would be upgrading to get you.
Look, I didn't say.
I'm asking, ma'am, because we're just having a conversation. You said you'd be settling, so by extension, he would be.
So I guess we'll be settling for each other.
Well, no.
Here's another thing with that. I'm sorry to stop it so much, but settling is one of those words that really hit me in the pit of my stomach. Because we all fucking settle. I could be wrong, but I don't think nobody built a man or a woman in their head, they ideal, the one that they want, and found them. Not with everything. Not all the way put together, because you don't get to find nobody all the way put together. Y'all get together and you don't necessarily help build them into what you want them to be, but you find somebody with that type of potential. Maybe you only want 3 things out of man. The universe might send you a man with 1 and potential for the other 2. And he sent you with potential for the other 2 because you have the support in nature. You have what it takes to get that man to that next step, if that's what that man wants. Because you gotta understand that you can't want something for somebody more than they want it for them, ladies. You're gonna have to, and you know when to quit. There's a time to quit. In HR, they say you should take your time in the hiring process, but fire fast. And what they mean is it's a measure twice, cut once type of ordeal. You take your time in the hiring process, making sure that you vet the proper candidate, that you get the proper candidate into that position. Now, there's all sorts of reasons why you might have picked the wrong candidate, not paying attention. The halo effect. Maybe they reminded you of yourself, or something reminded you of an ex that you liked a lot, whatever it was. And let him slide or let her slide under the radar. And then, but once they in that position, you notice maybe a week into it, she's late every day for work. She hasn't did any of the tasks that I've asked, or she's done them shitty, or he's done them shitty. fire that motherfucker. Get him out of there. Get him out of there fast because they're going to cost you more money in the long run. Let me tell you how. So you keep that piece of shit employee in that spot. They continue to cost you money by fucking up at their job, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, not holding it down the way they're supposed to be holding it down. And now they're costing you revenue and profit and all of that. And so now down the road, 3 years down the road, when you finally decide to fire them, the damage is done. You picked the wrong CEO and now your company is in the dumps. That's why you fire that motherfucker as fast as you can. As soon, maybe not at the first sight, because this is another thing. It's hard. It's so multifaceted because on the other hand, if as a man, when a woman is screwing up, there is a leadership opportunity there. And your leadership, your influence might be able to influence her, to get to the next spot, or influence him to get to that next place. Or maybe you just not that influential.
But my issue is, you said settling for him. That means you'd be getting something less than what you deserve. When we settle, we get less.
I already have everything that I need. If
now she's gonna tell you about how she's an adult.
Me, then that will be settling, right?
Fabian, I want you to understand what I asked you last night. I asked this question oftentimes with black women. If you have to work as hard today or harder if you want children with a husband, would you rather have a husband or be single? And almost 100% of the time, black women would say, if I have to work as hard as I am today with a husband, I'd rather be single, because a husband is not, just by being a man ain't enough. He's supposed to make her life easier. That is why I have no problem telling women to die alone. It is not our job to make women's lives easier. It's our job to protect, provide. But that's not necessarily easy. It's harder. Relationships are hard. So, ma'am, you got all the things you need except somebody to share life with. And the man who can meet your standards, okay?
The average man.
Can he meet other women's standards?
That's the high value man. Yes, he can. Absolutely.
Okay, then why should he not get the best? If he can meet your high standard, he can meet another woman's standard. And all I'm saying is that why should a man have to settle?
And it's another thing. Another one of his points that they attack a lot. They say, "Oh, why he could have all these women? Why would he pick you?" This is the woman's time to shine, because unless how do I want to say this? Women aren't just looks. They're not just sex objects like they thrown around in the media and shit most of the time. That's not their only job. It's not just to have babies. It's not just to It's not to just do the ancillary work at home. It's a lot of things. There's no pride in being feminine or being a homemaker anymore, and it's sad because it's the most important job. It's sad to see that, because the black family, the family period, is suffering because everybody wants to be a boss bitch. You want to be in charge. You want to be the boss. I want to be and this is the thing. You the boss, like she said, she's a business owner. She probably is the boss, but she's also probably the technician. She's probably the janitor. She's probably everything, because she's probably the only employee, the only anything in the company, which ain't a bad thing, because there's lucrative one-person companies. It's so easy to get away from the point, because it's so much wrong with what's going on now. It's the sad part. It's so much wrong. We got people thinking that they selling when they're not selling. But Kevin's ministry, what he was going out and what he was actually doing was trying to bring us closer together. Now, y'all didn't like what he was saying, but I'm going to tell you why you didn't like what he was saying, because the message was for men. He was always talking to us. He was talking to us before. He was talking to us for 5 years. Y'all just saw him in the last 2 years, maybe 2 years or so. Y'all introduced women When I say y'all, I mean women. Y'all, you were introduced to Kevin Samuels maybe 2 years ago from the Average or Best video, but he had been doing this work for years prior. I was watching him for roughly 5 years prior. He only had about 50,000 subscribers up to that point, and he was talking men's fashion and stuff like that. And he was basically trying to get black men specifically to understand that we belong in these corporate rooms, in these places that you don't see us at the top. We belonged at the top. We weren't to just be seen as the help. We belonged. How could you hate that message? Like, the man is gone now, but the ministry continues. We're gonna have to get better. We're gonna have to get better. The work is gonna continue to have to be done. Just continue to watch how, like, this is the issue. You have this woman who's standing up here. She's a 3. On her best day, she's a 3. And with this big wild tattoo that she big as hell. Nothing against the big girls. Big girls need love too. But you big as hell. You're not the type of guy you looking for, the high value man that he's talking about. I don't even think that's the type of guy you looking for, because to be honest, I think when women say high value man, they just mean they want a nigga with money. They sick of being with a guy that's broke. And I jokingly always say that a woman can't be a gold digger no more than a man can be a hoe, because her natural inclination is to look for resources. She procreates, she has children. She's going to have to look. It makes sense, right, for her to look for proper provision and protection for those children and herself. That's just, she's going to be at a vulnerable position at some point in the relationship, because she's going to have children, or for the most part. Or so with these things, she's going to be vulnerable. She's going to be situations where she's going to need a man to fill that void. And it's not settling. Like, settling is a bad, I mean, I guess it is settling, but we just understand that we all do that. You're not going to find the perfect person. I don't care who you are. Now, you can build with a person until they perfect for you. And you can earn that, you know, that you're going to earn that high value, or what your definition of high value man is, because you help build him. He helps build you. Y'all help build a family. It's the relationship that you got to show your allegiance to.
For a woman with 2 kids, because you got a business?
They don't have, Kevin, they don't have to settle for me.
You don't care about that business.
But you said you'd be settling for him.
Okay, just like you, Kevin, you say that high value men are supposed to have money, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you say.
That's a fact.
So if they don't have money, that means their value is low, right?
No.
And you go off women.
No. If you want to know, high value men, that's a completely different component. That's less than 10% of men. Mm-hmm. And high value men get high value women, women who are in high demand.
Right.
That's not your category.
Because I got kids, right? You're not,
ma'am. Yes. Would you say that you're a woman that's in high demand or most wanted?
Oh, here come the capology.
I could be. I mean, yeah, I could be. I mean,
you could be. Listen. Don't
hold on. Can I tell you about myself?
Hold on. Ma'am, you're 37 with 2 children. Mm-hmm. Where in the world do women who are average to above average, average to cute, who are a little overweight with 2 kids, where are these women in high demand?
A little overweight.
Kevin, I'm working on myself.
Oh, there's the other one.
No, man.
There you go. Kevin, I'm working on myself. What the fuck does that mean? Huh? And who do you mean to deceive when you say it? I'm looking at you. You're not even working out. You're not even working out, much less working on yourself. Like I've said this time and time again, I'm not saying that she should lower her standards even necessarily, right? What I'm saying is you need to understand, look at yourself objectively, understand where you stand in what they call a sexual marketplace. I don't really like that saying, but in the sexual marketplace, we're gonna see where you stand. And you need to look objectively at yourself, like for real. Like, okay, I'm not a 6, because objectively, you're not a 6. You're a 3. You're highly you overweight, pushing on morbidly obese. Because I think you over 30 pounds outside the range, no matter what. I want to believe at 150 she was like 30 pounds outside of the range when she said she was 157 pounds, which was cap, because you got to add 30 probably to that easily. So you're average in that area. You're not working out. You're just not. You're eating. That's what you're doing. You're eating, and you probably got a nasty attitude. I can already tell by how you just want to push back and push back. There is nothing that you're gonna say to this man that's gonna make you special enough to deserve this high value man that you say you deserve. You believe you deserve him. That's why you believe that you are settling for the 9-to-5 guy or the average guy. You think that you're settling for him. You're not settling for him. You're getting what you deserve. You're getting what you can pay for. Like, I'm not even trying to say, like, if I had $50,000 in my pocket right now to go buy a car, I'm not broke. That's not broke. I got $50,000 cash. I walk into the dealership, but I don't want to pay no car note. I walk into a Lamborghini dealership with my $50,000. What they gonna look at me and say? I mean, like I said, I'm not broke, but I can't buy no fucking Lambo with that. You dig what I'm saying? I can't walk into Lambo with my 50. Now I'm not broke. Nobody can really call me broke. I got 50,000 cash. I make good money in my pocket, but I don't make Lambo money. Now I can walk into Nissan like I'm King Dingaling, because I can get damn near everything in there. So I can walk into Nissan like that, pointing them out. I can act like that around Nissan. I can't act like that in Lambo. Shit, I can't act like that in Mercedes. Y'all need to understand what store you in. You shopping for high value men, mama. You got $3.
It's a very specific question. It's not, no, because you're working on yourself. That's fine, but that doesn't mean you're in high demand.
I can get there, can I?
And see,
so you mean to tell me if I can lose 20 pounds,
40,
and
80 years ago, with a woman in your position, even without the children, 80 years ago, would a woman in your position be with the top 10% man?
You said 80
years ago. 80 years ago. Would she be with a man in the top 10% of all men? 80 years ago.
Yeah.
No. There are a limited amount of these men to go around. Man,
this man was a
just want you guys to understand, especially in the black community. You're an average woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's being fair. Average at best is more likely the term. Average at best would be pretty fair. But listen.
I'm listening.
But the issue is, so I got to settle for an average man.
That's the issue, mama. That's the issue.
That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one.
You can't get one.
I'm gonna be honest. You can't.
I don't believe that. I don't believe she can't get one. That's one of the where I push back a little bit with him, and I get why he's saying it though. I absolutely understand why he's telling her she can't get one. I mean, in her current mindset, she doesn't deserve one. No, but doesn't necessarily mean she can't get one, because like these things. Relationships are, we don't know every millionaire. It might be a millionaire that won't want him a big black chest tattoo wearing. He might exist. He's a far outlier though. The chances of you running into that guy is slim to nil, is what he's trying to say. That's why he said you can't get one. She could, but she would have to change her attitude. like I said, you just because you have kids don't mean that you don't deserve a high value man. You could raise your value to a point where he will look past those children. If you can create value in a man's life, and for each man, that's going to be different. For each high value, low value, average guy, no matter who it is, to make that man happy is going to be different. Now, you might be able to develop a subset of skills that is sought after by that man that you want, by that type of guy that you want. You can get in shape. You can look your best because she can lose about 40 pounds. You know what I'm saying? The makeup is spectacular now. Who knows what she'll look like with that nose contoured? You know, I mean, it's a lot that she can do. She can be more feminine. She could be more agreeable. She could be more supportive. She could build her knowledge in a way where she can help a man, maybe with business ventures, maybe with maybe she has something that he's lacking. Maybe he's a great chemist, but a horrible accountant. Now she can come in and she can take the bills, and it's so many ways that you can make yourself valuable. It's two ways you can make yourself valuable for a certain man, or you can raise the tide on all of it and make you more valuable to all men. Naturally being in shape, naturally being feminine. You'll be hard to find. You got to be some type of psychopathic man, some type of crazy man, some type of sociopath to abuse a feminine woman, right? Those guys aren't normal. Those guys, I don't even call them men. A male that's going to abuse a woman who is submitting to him is a piece of absolute shit and don't need to be here. Those guys aren't normal, and I'm not talking for those guys. So what I'm saying is, if you are a true female, you have that true feminine energy. I'm not saying that, and it's not always submissive energy, but we want to serve that as men. Like, I don't know how to put that to you, but when you come across as I don't need no man, we pray you never get one, ma'am. We don't care. And the sad part is you can be beautiful, have the best body, and talk like that. Men will line up to have sex with you. They don't want to keep you. It's evident. It's why you're unkept. The scariest thing to a man, imagine a single man, high value man. You out here in the streets. You hunting for a wife. And you come across this beautiful specimen. She the same. I'm 35 years old. You 35 and you free as me out here. So as a man being 35 and you have a career and all of this to show for it, you might be a woman and have a top level career. Maybe you in a spot there, this exists. But for the most part, what's going on is you was riding a hot dog carousel for all of your 20s, made most and into your damn 30s. And so now you out here with another man's kid, no real career. No, let's be for real. What you making, 36,000, 40,000 or some crazy shit like that on the high end average is what's going on. So like that's what the average is. I don't care about all y'all saying, well, not me and my homegirls, we make 100,000. I don't know nobody make. Shut up. Sick of hearing that shit. Shut up. Because if you was making all that type of money, this is not the type of content you need to be watching in the first place. Like the people, like even I would argue that a lot of high value men, not too many of these high value men was even watching Kevin's content because they're not having these issues. The reason that they're not having issues with women, these women are having issues finding high value men. High value men aren't having issues finding these women. They avoid these women. So you be hard pressed to find. It was more than Henry's, I believe, is what he called them. What does it stand for? High earners, not rich yet. The Henrys. It was the Henrys, I believe, that was more fed up in watching, and the probably 80% of the people watching Kevin Samuels, and that's because they on their way up and they are watching the women that they qualify for now talk crazy about them. The same women that they qualify for it right now, that I'm a 3 on my way up, because as a man, you could be a 3 with a potential for a 10 because you raise your resources, and women, they don't care how tall you is. You be short, it don't matter. To some women, once you get your money up, once you raise your resources up, then you just become more more dateable. They want to open it. They want to open up the viscous innards, as MTR would say, for you. But we gonna let her get back into some more of this, and we gonna watch the Godfather work the way he always used to work. It's unfortunate that we ain't gonna be able to see it again, but let's get into it.
You're 37 with 2 kids. If they're less than 10% of the men, why would he pick you over a woman with no children?
But Kevin, I talk to pretty good high value. I go on dates with high caliber men.
Yes, they will go on dates with you. They will talk to you. They'll have sex with you.
We talk about marriage. We talk about marriage.
I want you to understand, this is what the issue is, because I've talked about this for a year and a half, because men will deal with you. What man of value, who is a high value man recognized by other men of value, what man that fits in that category is seriously vetting you to be a wife today?
I'm talking to someone now. I've been dating this guy now.
Capology.
Pretty high value, and we've been talking.
How old is he?
He's 51.
And what makes him high value?
He owns his own car dealership, and he has multiple businesses. He owns houses. Like he's doing pretty good for himself. He's probably not rich, but
ma'am, being high value is more than just money.
He got a good head on his shoulders. He got a good personality. He take care of himself. He work out. He don't even look like he.
Oh, Jesus Christ, ma'am! I'm trying to be reasonable, but it's more than just money. And I'm saying a man why would a man? How can I say this without sounding rude?
Kevin,
I'm trying to. Why would a man who has this going on? And what state are you in?
I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, I just said state. But anyway, why would a man choose a woman like that? Okay, if you say he's high value, to me, when I talk about high value, it's not just money. It's over a period of time. It's what you do. It's also men of value must recognize you as a peer or a potential peer. You got to have a network of high value men and others, and you must be useful to others in a group. So you judge a man not just on his money, by his network, by other men who say, yeah, that's a man of value. He's a mover or shaker, a most eligible. Okay, man, but these men don't settle. They don't settle. They don't get women who are. They don't.
Yeah, they settle too. I mean, like I said, I believe we all settle. Like, there's no perfect puzzle piece. But what he's saying is that they're not gonna settle in the way that in the way that these women are saying settle. They saying basically they speaking to settle as someone beneath them. I mean, when you were 3, ain't too many people beneath you. So I don't know where the hell y'all come with this shit, but
they don't. There are men on YouTube right now saying, I don't know what I'm talking about being high value. But here's one thing that they do agree with me on. They don't take a woman with children. They don't.
Yeah, for the most part. I remember as a kid, right? Like in high school and shit. I knew then. I didn't know nothing about the world, but I knew I ain't want no girl with no baby already. It did. Even in the wild, like I used to watch National Geographic. Well, I still do, and I could watch animals more than I could watch. But there was one I found out about bears, right? And so the king bear is at the top. He get all the salmon. He get the best spot at the top of the hill where the salmon jump out, and he sit there and he just eat all day, and y'all get to get what's at the bottom. He also gets to mate with all of the female bears. When a new prodigy decides I can beat the king bear's ass, he goes up there on top of the hill and he whoop his ass. He typically gonna kill him, and if he don't, they gonna banish him. But once that other bear is gone, the new king bear goes down and he kills all the children, all the cubs of the prior king bear before he starts to repopulate the forest. He don't even want that man kids around. And they do similar things with lions and other animals. They typically, it's not natural. Now we're humans, we're not animals. Duh. I get that. But I'm just, you see what I'm saying? In nature, that's not even natural, is what I'm saying. A man, it comes with too much. Now, there are strong men out there that will take on you and your kids with no problem. And salute to them, brothers. We need them. Make no mistake. I'm not here to say, oh, she has kids. No. If you got it in you, if you got the wherewithal to put up with that, if she is worth it, we need those men. Those men are needed, especially in the black community. So I will never talk shitty about a stepfather or say that you should avoid these women, because that's just not what I believe. But come on.
I've had men who vehemently disagree with me on a lot of things. They don't listen to me, but unanimously, we don't take another man's children, because that's not even in their mindset. They don't. So you ladies can call it what you want, and I'm thinking, how long have y'all been dating?
2 weeks now.
What the?
I said seriously, but considering you to be a wife in 2 weeks, ma'am, yeah.
We just been. I said we've been talking about it,
ma'am. That's
why did you? I'm not even gonna do it.
I'm saying, ma'am. I said, what man of value who's recognized by other men of value is seriously betting you to be a wife? And you said this man, you ain't even known this dude but 2 weeks.
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money.
The only reason I'm pushing this hard, ma'am, is because it triggers me when I hear average women talking about settling for average men. And I'll be honest.
Why do it trigger you?
Because you'd be lucky to get an average man. He would be settling for you.
That's his issue. You about black families, but you can't because you got the average looking past the average. It's the math is just not, it's bad math. You got to get what you deserve, what you have done something for. It's sad that he's gone, man, because the work wasn't done. And he was doing it the best. That's the sad part. I mean, nothing against all the other YouTubers, but what he was doing was different. The women could hate him, but it was fine. Don't watch. The men, we got to understand. We understood because you can watch every day average women call in and look down on you. You got average men that's watching this. He got 1.4 million subscribers. How many of them you think is average men? Most of them were average men. They watching every night. Average women. Disrespect them. Disrespect them. You got men that are above average but below average height. You got a man that's 5'4". He's probably making the best money. He probably love all of these things, taking care of his physique. That shit don't matter because he's a little man. Like, do you know how that feels to be as a man? Do you know? I mean, I don't, because I ain't 5'4". But I imagine that it ain't. It's not a good thing. I grew up in Chicago, right? I remember as a kid, I remember girls telling me straight up to my face, I don't date dark-skinned boys. They didn't even mean it as a dig. It was just something to say back then. And this, mind just like 3rd grade, 4th grade, but still, that was something to say back then. Oh, I don't date. And it wasn't a dig. It was just, they just say it all. And it was nothing I could do about that. To be dark-skinned, I'm born this way. I was born with this skin. There wasn't nothing I could do to change that shit. But they felt that it was okay to say that. And it wasn't because they were young, but where did they get that from? They got that from the older chicks that was telling them that the light skin was in at the time. Or what? But you see what I'm saying? You can, it's easy to body shame men or shame men, period, for anything. You got a little dick, you don't make enough money, you're dark skin, you're fat. You name it. it's fair game because in America, it's okay to do what they call punching up. You just can't punch down. So because I'm stronger than a woman and I'm a man, if I quarrel with a woman, period, I'm acting like a bitch. Think about it. If I'm arguing with a woman, especially a woman that ain't mine, I'm automatically looked at on the outside as, why are you arguing with that woman? It's lose-lose. If I'm in a bar and a woman walk up and knock my fucking head off, knock me out, right? Even if she snuck me, I'm a bitch. She can clock me, not sleep me, and I knock her back out. What's wrong with me? They gonna think I'm crazy. It's just the way. You can always punch up, you just can't punch down. That's why it's okay to talk to talk shit about the rich, but it's not okay for the rich to talk shit about the poor. And that's the issue. That's the same quality that men are dealing with when it comes to the dating situation, because they can talk down on us. They can outright sing they praises, sing they preferences to the world unapologetically, and they say that's what she wants. She wants what she wants, girl. Don't let nobody talk you down. Don't let nobody have you settle. Don't settle. I don't want you to settle. What I want you to do is I want you to raise your level, women. Men too. So when you having issues with women, I mean, your height, you can't fix it, brother. But if you overweight, you can fix that. If you are underperforming, you need a better job. These are all things that's not going to be easy to fix, but these are things that you can fix. You can only worry about the things you can fix. Be the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself is all I'm asking. The females here, like, you can look at her, she ain't the best version of herself. I can look at her and tell in 2 seconds she ain't the best version of herself just because her body shows a lack of discipline. Simple.
He would be settling for you to have to deal with you, 2 children from somebody else. Yes, man, that's why. Because
say something.
You asked, let me finish. He'd be settling for you because you.
Let him get to it.
Because I got 2 children.
Yes. Amongst other things, yes.
I mean, I'm a good person to get along with. So
that may be, ma'am. That may be. You could be a perfectly lovely person, but there are other women who are perfectly lovely people who are childless and more physically appealing.
That's fine. Like, I mean,
so that means, man, by definition, see, that's the thing. The kind of men you ladies talk about you want, they are rare. They are
rare.
For every man that falls into your category, there are thousands of women that want him. Mm-hmm. He can only have one wife. That's why.
You telling he gonna have a lot of wives? I mean,
no. He gonna have a lot. He gonna cheat a lot, but he ain't gonna have one wife. He can only marry one person. It's called.
He ain't necessarily gonna cheat a lot either. That's another one of them wild ones from old Uncle Kev, rest in power. But yeah, he's not necessarily gonna cheat a lot. That's not the truth. There are men out there with the discipline to not cheat, but women need to understand the type of man that is. How do you read for that? You can select for that trait, because certain men will tell you from the gas that I'm dating to marry. I have no interest in having just casual sex. That's easy. They are dating to marry. They gonna hire slow and fire fast. They'll tell you that. And any man that's gonna give you, ask them. Because when they give you the runaround, they tell on themselves. Like, don't be retarded. Look at the cues. Like, he can lie, but you know what's real and what's not. Just like when I knew she wasn't no goddamn 157 pounds. How I knew that man that she was talking about don't exist. She get to looking all around. Eyes up. If he's, well, what does he do? Oh, he owns a. When they get to doing all that, they telling on themselves. They showing their hand. And then after what a motherfucker says, watch what they do. How do they treat you? A relationship, we got to stop going into these things assuming people have our best interests at heart. We go into these things assuming that everything is what people say it is. It's not. It's work. You going into a relationship with somebody. You need to keep your eye on them. You need to, trust but verify. You know what I'm saying? You need what they say. and what they do, it gotta flow. It gotta be on the. You can't be telling me that you want to lose 30 pounds and you eating a 10-piece every night. You ain't worked out a day in your life, but every day you singing on how I'm gonna start losing weight. I'm gonna work on myself. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just be able to wean out the bullshit. Don't stop, ladies. Stop being a sucker for these lies. Cause like Pookie and Ray Ray, Chad and Tyrone, they not telling no. They you shouldn't be tricked. Is what I'm saying. They not even putting in enough effort to trick you. To be honest, like we as a man, we've all had that homeboy, and we didn't know how the hell he got girls, and what the girls didn't realize is how low we ranked them just off the fact they was fucking with him. We like, damn, dirty folks got a bad one, but what the bad one don't know is her stock's so low now because we know this nigga don't wash his ass. This our homie. You know what I'm saying? We know exactly who bro really is. And the fact that you letting him raw diggity, you is wild. You are wild. And we rate y'all off of that shit. Y'all think y'all could just run around here and have sex with anybody and everybody you want or have sex like men. You're not a man. You got an innie, I have an outie. I'm playing offense, you playing defense. It's quite simple. And y'all couldn't hate Kevin Samuels from beyond the grave, but the ministry will continue because the logic is sound. In order for families to come together, specifically black families, in order for them to come together, we're going to have to see each other for who we really are. And then the work starts there. The threes need to realize that they threes. And get your money up, bum. Get your weight down, fat lady. It's hard. It's going to be hard to make money. To make money is going to be hard. To lose the weight is going to be hard. To look at yourself objectively and realize that we are all flawed, not just you, but all of us. Not one of us is a perfect specimen of nothing. And so there's always work to be done. There's always something to do. There's always something you can learn. You can read. You can work out. You got to get into your finances. You got to be able to have the discipline to save more. It's a lot of things you got to work on. And on top of all of the stuff that we all have to work on, she has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. You got children. That's a whole nother ball game. Life don't stop when you have children. Like a lot of people, it's real easy for you to just turn and put all your focus on the kids, but you still got a whole life to live your damn self and those children. So life doesn't get hard. It doesn't get easier. It just gets harder and harder with time. You know why? Because if you're doing this life thing the right way, you're getting smarter and smarter in every day. And it's a reason why they say ignorance is bliss. It's a reason why they say ignorance is bliss. The less you know, the better off you feel. The reason why, because this shit is hard. And then the more you know, you just notice how much harder it is. I remember as a kid hearing people saying it's not enough hours in a day. And I was a little kid. And I wasn't doing nothing but playing all damn day and spending half of it in school. So to me, it was plenty of time. I didn't know what the hell they was talking about. But as you get older, you realize, I got to work out. I got to find time to eat. I got to find time to read and educate myself. I got a full-time job. Most of the time, I'm trying to elevate there. It's not enough time in a day. It's just not. You're going to have to focus on those things that you find as most important. Where you lack, you're going to have to hit those lacking voids with discipline and fucking determination. That's the only way to overcome those. Discipline and determination. Because you're going to fail, and you hear the cliche or the saying to hurry up and fail. Because the lesson is on the other side of the failure. It's on the other side of the failure. You can either let the failure wipe you out and you be done, or you can get over it and vow to never fail that way again. But the choice is always yours. I don't really think she got too much more to say that's going to do nothing. I mean, this is the part of that kind of frustrated me about Kevin is when they get into these circles that he's finna get into it. That he's already, the message is out. Man, you got a lot of work to do in order to qualify for that high value man that you want. But because it's evident that you don't want to do the work, or you feel you've already done the work, his message is you can't get one. My message is you're probably not going to get one, but it's the same.
It's called bigger. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. No, that's enough. You can only have one wife. Don't. No. That's all. You can only have one wife. Nope. You sat there and why did you marry your baby daddy? This is
We grew apart. Jesus.
Jesus, don't say it. You grew up. Whew, softball. You grew apart. Was that before or after the second child?
The second child. We was getting into arguments and stuff.
So, and how long were y'all together?
We was together since we was teenagers.
See, that's the problem. There's another problem, man. You get no higher than your baby daddy. Because men look at a woman and then she look at her children, because men say, I'm not going to go raise a lesser man's child. That's what happens.
You think all men think like that?
You think I got 1 million subscribers on each platform because I don't know what I'm talking about? You think I can do this night in, night out, and people co-sign? Ma'am, y'all would be better off to realize that more men.
Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all finish the video. It's only a few more, about 7 more minutes left on this one. But the message is, rest in power to the Honorable Kevin Samuels. He was doing the work that needed to be done to keep black families together, to get us back together, pretty much, because it's broken now. As a married man, I have a lot of married friends as well. I would like to see us get back to what we used to be. It's going to take a lot of work on both sides, men and women. I want to focus mainly on the men, though. Because what I find is it's easier for you guys, man. Like if you raise your tide, if you innovate yourself, you put the time into yourself to make you the best version of yourself, the best version of you. That not the best version of a man, period, or trying to be some other person's don't get caught up in that. Get caught up in how you can be better than you were yesterday. That's it. I want to move and be better, be smarter, today than I was yesterday. That's all you can really worry about is small incremental change. That's why I always push the atomic habit on people, the 7 habits of highly effective people, is because with these, they first off, a man should be principle based. What a lot of men don't understand is that what women pay attention to the most is a decisive man. It don't necessarily mean that like an indecisive man. That's why when I hear men mad about women not knowing what they want to eat, she never then don't leave it up to her. Tell her you're going to eat. It's a surprise, and just pull up anywhere. Make a decision. When you're principle based, you can make the decisions quicker. You could be more concise. There's no need to make a real judgment. I don't have to get into the analytics of it because I'm principle based, which means that if this, then that. I already have it made up. So you need to look at what your big why is as a man, as a woman as well. You need to look at what your big why is. Your big why is why you do this shit. If it's your kids, if it's for future family, if it's for your community, whatever it's for, whatever your big why is, you gotta that gotta be up on the board. You gotta know what it is. After that, you gotta serve that big why through your actions and the person that you want to build yourself into. I can't say that I might have to dress. I might have to change the way I dress, is what I'm saying, in order to I might have to change the way I dress, may have to change the way I speak, the way I talk. you never know. In order to be in that place that you pick, but you start with the principles. The best book for that is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habits in there is being principle based. So it speaks to that. After that, you want to do the work. Getting into the work, build a habit. Build good habits. It's real easy to build bad ones. I want to say it's 21 days or so of doing something straight before it becomes a habit. So go to the gym for 21 days straight, and you'll feel wrong when you take the days off because it's in your routine now. You can't finish the day without feeling guilty if you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So you use the atomic habit to build that habit out, get that compound change over time going. And the sooner you get started, you'll understand. It's just start and consistency. Start and then consistency. Over time, you build that habit that's based on your principles, your morals, and your why. And you push through and you get this compound change over time. I'm 1% better each and every day. That's 365% better over a year. You just let that shit compound. You keep pushing, because guess what? Until they put you in the ground, there's always going to be something that you can work on, something that you can get better at, that can make you a better person today than you were tomorrow. You can always do that. Bad can be better. Good can be greater. It's simple, but you have to be committed to it, and you have to be consistent. You got to put in the work. You got to fill those voids with discipline and determination. And that's what we're going to need in order for us to get to the next. And that's all Kevin was asking. Which I don't understand is he spoke to men for 5 years straight, and y'all didn't want to hear that shit. 50,000 subscribers max for 5 years prior to telling one chick she was average at best, made world star, and blew up. And then he started speaking directly to y'all and found out there was an issue there. It was an issue because he never ran out of content. Original content every single night from women calling in and speaking their truth. And now you can be as mad as you want, but yeah, he's the common denominator. He was the only man there. But how many women called in every single night claiming to have watched his content and to still come on there and behave the way they behave? And so, like I said, the man is dead, but the ministry will live on. We're going to carry the torch for Unc. We'll see y'all next time, man.